Small landlords own just over half of the nation's rental homes. Now, two different stimulus bills have earmarked over $50 billion in rental relief, but much of it is not getting there because the process must start with tenants.
The critical thing here is for these jurisdictions to really streamline what they're doing and make access to capital much easier for the residents and for the property owners.
15% of renter households, or 6.7 million, said they were behind on their rent, according to a recent census survey. More than a quarter say they have either slight or no confidence they can pay next month. As for the relief, 40% of rental owners who are owed back rent say they have not received the necessary paperwork from tenants to file for it. That, according to the National Rental Housing Council. Now, 11% said they have already been forced to sell at least one of their properties. Marilyn Blackburn has been a landlord in Washington state for 20 years, but she said she's lost more than $12,000 in the last 6 months.
It's just frustrating, and I think they're going to make it worse before it gets better by changing these rules and forcing us to keep tenants longer. So, time to get out.
Blackburn says she's going to sell all of her 9 properties, but the trouble with landlords selling is that in today's incredibly tight housing market, buyers will likely be the occupants, reducing the stock of desperately needed affordable rental housing. John?
Yeah, that's interesting. Reducing the stock of rental housing. More broadly, what are experts telling you about what this might do to landlord behavior overall? Does it change their math on what it takes to get these rental properties profitable? Is it any easier to refinance as a landlord at a lower rate here?
No, it's not easier for them, but actually what they're telling them is that more landlords are going to start having much stricter guidelines for how they decide which tenants they could take. So it may become harder to become a tenant in a rental property because the landlords are going to be so careful about who they want to put into the home, wanting to make sure that they'll actually get that rent. So it's not only going to become less affordable to be a renter, it'll also be harder to qualify to be a renter, John.
Wow, harder to buy and harder to rent. Diana, that is rough news. Thank you.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.